Get ready. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Start. At a time when the bill in its present form is going to be considered by the House, and when after a short while it is going to be passed through its final stages, I shall be failing in my duty if I do not express the viewpoint on this bill, not only of myself but also of that section of the community which claims to have played during the last 2.5 years a glorious part in the hour of our national crisis. While I do not propose to move any amendments, all the same I should like to seize this opportunity to state that I am not enthusiastic nor at all happy over this bill. While I do not deny that there are some beneficial sections in this bill from the point of view of labor, but taken as a whole, this bill in the chain of the existing legislation will add to the hardships that the working class is subjected to in this country. What is the position in the country today? Labor desires peace, and in spite of the political manipulations to exploit labor for their own political ends, labor has still maintained the industrial production and also maintained peace. It has refrained as a general rule from resorting to industrial strikes. During the last 2.5 years, it has aspired to secure settlement of its legitimate grievances not by direct action but through peaceful methods of conciliation and failing that, arbitration. But what is the position today? In spite of the best desire of the working class in this country to maintain industrial peace and to take resort to constitutional methods, the position today is that there is a law which was an improvement on the old position. All the same, as has been amply demonstrated in the course of the last 2 years, the existing law is utterly ineffective to do justice to the working class. In the first place, although the machinery of adjudication is there have been numerous instances in which there has been not only delay but also reluctance on the part of the various state authorities to refer disputes to the tribunal. Secondly, even if disputes were referred to the tribunals, there was no time limit, with the result that the proceedings before these tribunals dragged on not for months but at times for years. When they ultimately did give an award, there was no sanction in the existing legislation, with the result that there have been instances of floating of awards. If this new machinery is added to the existing legislation, it is bound to be utilized to delay justice which is already delayed. The other day I spoke on the Labor Relations Bill and I pointed out certain defects, but all the same I supported the structural principles of the bill as I felt that it registered a substantial improvement on the present legislation. Now, the Appellate Tribunal forms a chapter of the Labor Relations Bill, and the best policy would have been to consider these provisions in regard to appellate tribunals, having in view the entire concept of labor management relationship as conceived in the Labor Relations Bill. It will then be possible to judge in the first place whether appellate tribunals are necessary, and if so, to what extent it is desirable to give them powers, and to what extent to have their scope broadened or narrowed down. Now, taking a leaf out of the old thing and putting it on the statute book is bound to create a most favorable psychological atmosphere in the country. It has been stated that as a matter of urgency, the Appellate Tribunal Bill should be proceeded with. But I submit that even if it may be considered that it is an important matter to which I do not agree, all the same, there are equally important, if not more important, matters, and I fail to understand why equal anxiety is not being demonstrated in regard to those matters. For instance, there are persistent cases of floating of awards and challenge to the authority of law. Speaking on the Labor Relations Bill, I surveyed the situation in other countries. In order to refresh my memory, in the course of the last few days, I looked into the labor legislations of other countries. For the information of the House, I may say that I did not come across any machinery equivalent to that of the Appellate Tribunal either in the UK or the USA. It may be said that in those two countries there is no system of compulsory adjudication. When I turned my attention to those countries where the system of compulsory adjudication is prevalent, namely Australia and New Zealand, even there I did not come across any system of appellate tribunal. The only part of the world where there is a system of appellate tribunal is Latin America, but even there, although there is the appellate tribunal, its scope is limited.